Hey friends, Noah from Corporate Streams. In this one, we're going to be unboxing the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO.
Be seen, heard, and better understood through virtual gatherings. Elevate your message with Corporate Streams.
So you probably already heard all about this device, but if you haven't, let's go ahead and look at the Blackmagic website here, and I'll show you a few features. The ATEM Mini is an HDMI switcher, so you can plug in different devices to it. They've had the smaller model, which goes up to 4 inputs. So you'll see the back of the smaller unit is here. And then now we have the larger units as well, which go up to 8 inputs. So I've owned the ATEM Mini, the Pro, and now this is the first Extreme ISO that I've owned, and I actually have 2 of them, which is cool. Blackmagic always does great stuff with their website and photos there, so you can check through this and read through this if you'd like. So if you want to see a direct comparison between these 2 switchers behind me, the ATEM Mini Pro and the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, I will be doing that in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. But today, let's start again from the top and do some unboxing. Lots of great branding on the outside of the box. I like that it's a red, popping, bright box here, and it has a lot of cool little features, and it basically tells you what it can do on the outside of the box, which is kind of cool. So you can connect 8 separate HDMI cameras. You can use Ethernet or a cell phone to live stream. You can use this as a USB for webcamming. You can record all 8 inputs on this ISO recorder. You have some picture-in-picture effects, and then you also have DaVinci in-camera color correction. You can stream directly to YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, Twitch, Zoom, and Skype. And it also has a plug here to watch YouTube videos about this device. I guess that's what this is, kind of meta. So on the top side here, we got a cool picture of a guitar player connected to 8 inputs, powerful broadcast features built in, like 4 chroma keyers, 6 DVEs, 2 media players, 2 downstream keyers, and a 16-view multi-view. That's a lot of stuff. You can also do professional broadcast transitions like mix, dip, wipe, and more. Not much going on this side of the box. Monitor, you have a built-in multi-view like we talked about. So a lot of this stuff is the same information just on the sides of the boxes here. Remote control, 8-camera remote control, and raw recording. So that's kind of cool. Mix audio with EQ and dynamics. So that's the 12-channel Fairlight audio mixer with faders. And then you also can do some graphics with 20 RGBA still image graphic files for titles, bugs, and more included with a Photoshop plugin. So that's kind of cool. Lots of great information, the layout of the device. We're not going to get into the details here, so let's open the box here. We have 4 things that come with this here. So a little welcome graphic, a thank you, how to get started with an online manual. So feel free to download that by following a QR code here. You can also download the latest software to go with this device. They used to ship a lot of their products with SD cards. Now they're just sending this little piece of paper stating that you can get that software online. We also have a Blackmagic sticker. That's going to go in my pile with all the other Blackmagic stickers I have. And then they're also advertising for DaVinci Resolve 17, which is their editing software. So you can download that as well by following the QR code. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and look at the device itself. All right, there it is, the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. It's a hefty device, and so we're gonna have to weigh this compared to the ATEM Mini Pro, just to show you that. But again, that will be in the other video. So yeah, we're gonna set this to the side here. We've got one more thing to go through, which is the power adapter. I happen to be in the US, so I'm just gonna pull the adapter I need and be done. So then we'll take this power adapter and we'll slide it and click it in. Let's start with the top here and kind of work our way across the panel. So the upper left buttons, there's a set of 4 buttons here, which will control mic 1, then you have mic 2, and then headphones. So if you look on the back here, you'll see mic 1, mic 2, and headphones. So it's interesting that the order here is different than the order on the back of this device. I guess it makes sense because you're plugging in headphones on the outside, but yeah, it is what it is. That's kind of interesting, the placement of this headphone jack compared to those microphones. Coming across this section here, this is your select bus. So you can choose to send or look at certain things via the select bus, especially helpful with keying. We can get into that in another video, but that's what this top row is here. Then we have the keyer, which is built in, so you can turn that off and on. So for the ATEM Mini Extreme, there are 4 chroma keyers, which is pretty crazy. So I'm kind of curious to see how all 4 of these chroma keyers work, or if we can stack them or use them at the same time, which would be super powerful. I think that's more than my 2ME. At the time was like a $4,000 switcher when I purchased it. So pretty crazy that this little device has that much functionality in it. So you have a DSK on and off. You have the record, start and stop, record and stop button there. And then you have the stream on air or off. This right here is for camera control. So if you have the Pocket 4K cameras, that's what works with these controls. There's a way to do other cameras through adapters and stuff, but that's primarily what this robe is used for. So you have gain, black level, focus, and shutter. So you can adjust those by the up and down buttons, and that's per channel. So hopefully that simplifies this device so far. Then we have this bottom section here, which is AFV, or audio follows video. And I know it's getting kind of hard to see, so I'm going to lift this up here. So AFV, then you have on or off. So that's for the audio channel. So if you have audio coming through your camera through like an HDMI, embedded audio, you can turn that on and off, and that's per channel. You can also turn the volume up or down by 3 decibels. That's the same with the mic level here. These will be adjusted by 3 decibels when you press those buttons. And just like you would expect with the other ATEM Minis, you have nice soft buttons here. Obviously, you have 8 cameras instead of 4. You have quick access to both media pools 1 and 2, super source, and black, which is super helpful. Working our way down this other section here. So we have picture in picture. And again, we could do super source, which is kind of cool. You'll have to kind of program that out through the software, which is on the computer. So keep that in mind. But you do have a few quick functions here. I wish these could be reprogrammed. From my knowledge, on the older ATEMs, they could not. You just get what you get with these pictures and can't really reprogram them. However, you do have some macros here, which you can program for specific actions, which you can do in the software. Kind of cool. This fade duration here, which is either 0.5, 1 second, 1.5, or 2 seconds of fade. I wish that was on my Production Studio 4K switcher, but it's not. And then we have our transition elements here. So you could choose quickly the different mixes and dips and wipes and that kind of stuff. You could also do that in software to unlock a few other of these transitions. And then we also have our video out. So you can assign a quick output to one of the 2 HDMI outs here. You could do that with the Pro as well, but with the Extreme, you can have 2 separate outs. Even though this only controls one of the 2, you would use the software for the other output. And then finally, of course, you have cut, auto, and fade to black, or FTB. So that is what this device looks like. Let's go ahead and look at the sides, the back, and the bottom. So the front here, nothing really to write home about. It might have been interesting to have the headphone jack on the front here, but they decided to keep it on the back, which is fine. You have vents like a lot of the other Blackmagic devices, so one's an in and one's an out. So we'll look on the adjacent side, the opposite side, you'll see the opposite vents there. And then the most interesting part would be the back side. So then we have the back here, which you have your headphone jack, your 2 microphones, your 8 inputs, your 2 outputs, 2 USB-Cs, Ethernet, and then power. So 1/8 inch headphone jack. I do want to know HDMI 1 is the one that you control on the front of the device, and HDMI 2 you have to do through the software. One of the things I'm most excited for is the dual USB ports. I currently have an ATEM Mini Pro, and I have to switch between USB on the computer and USB through the hard drive because I do want to do both. There's no real way for me to do that, so to have separate ports is an awesome feature. So that about does it for this unboxing. Pretty straightforward. I wanted to cover some of the basics, some of the things I was curious about and might have missed in the announcement and the opening, but we're going to do a bunch of versus videos of the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO versus the ATEM Mini Extreme or the ATEM Mini Pro. So look for those versus videos on our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.